We good? Sound? We all right? Okay, where's the camera? Is it this one? We're here. All right. Podcast and Chill Network, new era. The way that the new era came about, I was inspired when I watched a Netflix documentary, the Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix. And Vince McMahon, for me, is someone that a lot of people resonate with. He's probably one of the greatest content creators of all time. Everybody can relate to some era in wrestling, be it the golden era, the new generation era with Undertaker and Bret Hart, or the Attitude Era, which is my favorite era that had Stone Cold, The Rock, Mick Foley, and all those guys. So all the way down to every single generation, they were very intentional about understanding the concept of audience fatigue and when to introduce new heroes into the platform. And when I started working on Podcast and Chill with Mac, I think the first thing I did was we basically did a complete overhaul of the network. And I think, this time in 2026, we've reached that same point again where we need to start looking at, a new era for the network and what that looks like. Because our ambition is to grow this platform 10x. And the only way you can do that is not by doing the same thing over and over again, but it's by doing things differently.
Started with a dream.
Okay, so welcome to our first podcast. Yeah, we've been wanting to do this for so long, dude.
In a world chasing algorithms, we chased something simpler, the truth.
And he's the first industry guy you've dated.
Yeah, I can confirm that.
The conversation.
Can you see the pattern of the guests we've been having? Because we're having YFM rejects. As you can see, we rose him from the dead. He's alive! He's alive! He's alive!
The real. We shared stories.
And I walked to Uncle Waffle's seat. I took out my phone. I called Drake. As soon as I sit down, he texts me. He's like, "Oh, damn, Uncle Waffle."
We faced the fire.
Public backlash over controversial and derogatory remarks made by MacG Mukwebo and his co-hosts on his popular show Podcast and Chill with MacG last week.
And sometimes the fire made us stronger.
It is official. Podcast and Chill has reached 1 million subscribers!
From the soulful rhythm of piano pulse.
That's not a piano song.
Oh, did you listen to it?
I did.
What do you think of it?
No, that's not a piano, it's R&B.
To the unfiltered laughs of spreading humors.
Zila is popping everything at once.
Whoa. I'm
And the grit of the Onside team.
Okay, so y'all are saying that Pirates and Chiefs have the same objective?
Yes!
You guys have the same hope to win the league?
You guys
are on Yelp, all of you.
We laughed with you.
I get it. I'm not problematic at this point.
We cried with you.
Everything has been taken from me.
We built a family. And then you showed up. From whispered truths in a small room to thousands shouting in unison, you didn't just listen. You became the heartbeat, the tribe. This isn't just a network. It's a movement. And we're just getting started. The journey continues. Welcome to the new era.
Bala handles the business side of things. I'm more of creative, thinking of ideas. And for me, I thought this was just going to be another year, where we're doing the same old stuff. And then Bala came to me, he's like, "Yo, man, I think this is the time for a new era, bro. Like, in wrestling, there's always new eras. There's this era, what era, and what. And I think this is the perfect time for us to launch a new era." I was like, okay, shit, I wasn't thinking about it, but you got me excited now. And I'm like, all right, cool, what you got in mind? He's like, "Yo, man, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, we gotta do that." And, as usual, we're talking over some shots and some drinks, and we just started,
ideating. And then that's when I really, really got excited, started applying my mind. And for me, one of the shows that really cemented why we need to have a new era was the ladies podcast. Because I was chatting to Bala, I'm like, if you look at the network holistically, there isn't a show that caters for like young female millennials, So for example, if I'm a lady and I've got a 9 to 5, I come back home, I gotta cook for the kids, I gotta do this, what do you watch on the network? And we couldn't answer that because you're obviously not gonna watch the main Monday show, because that's just like a bunch of friends chilling over a braai talking shit, Spreading Humors might be too young for you. So for me, when we started conceptualizing that and we were like, all right, cool, what if we do a millennial ladies podcast where they talk about things that affect them and things in their world? And then we started putting names on the board, and then we came up with, what we know now as Read the Room. That's when I was like, okay, fuck, Bala, I see what you're saying. And then that's when I really, really started getting exciting for the new era. I was like, okay, shit, this is dope, man.
Okay, so I got a call. We have a meeting, and I'm wondering, what is the meeting about? And but anyway, we have a lot of meetings. So I get there.
Crazy idea. So for the past, I think, 6 months, random calls saying, dude, I've got this thing that I want to do. It's big. It's huge. I need you to come on board.
I got back home at like 10 p.m., I think. We started just brainstorming, and we had a bunch of names for a bunch of different shows. Some of those shows don't even exist right now.
I didn't have the idea as to exactly, what the meeting is about, As we got to now unpack what everything is about, it was like, yo, guys, we need to take a shift into the new lead. What does the podcast and chill now look like? We've got Bala doing all these cool references from WWE, is telling me about, Vince McMahon, how he had to, pull up the changes in WWE,
So with Read the Room, we had a bunch of names that we came up with. And Phil Mpela was one of them. I think in the conversations, everyone was just like, we've had Phil, he's part of the family. You just speak to him, And I spoke to him. He had a few questions. That's the thing about Phil, right? He had a bunch of questions. What does it look like? What does it serve? Blah, 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 And I had a chat with him. And after that chat, he was like, okay, I'll speak to... You said, who am I speaking to after? I was like, it's either Bala or JJ who are going to contact you.
So with Phil Mpela, it was the very, very easy conversation. He's visited the platform a couple of times and, he's shown us quite a lot of love. So it was quite an easy discussion to kind of get him in. I'll tell you a very interesting story about Shamiso. So Shamiso, we had a meeting in Fourways. It was in Design Quarter. There's a restaurant called the Connellian, I think. So we met there, sat down, had a few drinks. We started having a conversation and explained to her who are the people that we want to recruit, right? That would sort of broadcast alongside her. So that was obviously Londi and Phil Mpela. And we had a very, very nice conversation as we continued to go along. Then I looked down, because we were at the balcony. I looked down and there's a very interesting individual who's waving at me and saying hi, and that was none other than Al Tito. So we're sitting there having the conversation. Tito comes up. He comes up and he starts having a conversation with us the whole time, not knowing what was happening. And before you know it, he starts having the exact same conversation that I was having with Shamiso. He started saying, I need you to start a ladies podcast. Please come join me, blah, blah, blah. The whole time for about an hour, he was trying to recruit her. That time, her and I had already shaken hands and the deal was done. And we ended up spending probably 4 hours together. Lots of drinks were had between the three of us, and we had a lot of deep conversations. But I'm pretty sure when Tito sees that she's part of this network, he'll be quite surprised that it actually happened on the day he was trying to recruit her. But shout out to El Tito. He's my guy. We've done, work together, so it's all love there, man.
But I remember in our meetings, JJ and Bada kept bringing up that, hey, we've been hitting a brick wall with Londi. She might be getting some cold feet, right? So I was like, all right, cool, man. I've got her on WhatsApp. Let me hit her up. So I texted her. I'm like, hey, Stando Sam, how are you? Let's link up. I hear you might have some reservations for this thing that we proposing to you. And then she blue ticked me, you know?
But trying to get her on board paperwork, because she's very, believe it or not, Londi's very, when it comes to a business, you know, so.
By the time we got to the point of contracting, she then started backtracking a little bit. All of a sudden, she's blue ticking me. I give her a call, she'll say she'll call me back, but she doesn't. And I started to realize very quickly that she's starting to get cold feet, which is understandable.
I actually gave up on Londi at some point because I spoke to her, I think it was on Christmas Eve, and she was like, "Hi, Poti, it's Christmas. I don't want to think right now. Can you call me after Christmas?"
And then, it's funny enough, God works in mysterious ways. The one time I decide to go to gym, the one time I get there, I'm doing my thing, doing my shandies. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my calves. I'm doing my arms. I'm rocking, Chief. All right. Then the treadmill, I see this big booty, bro. I'm like, fucking hell, some niggas are lucky. I'm like, hey, niggas are lucky out here. So I'm just seeing this big booty. I'm like, fucking hell, niggas are lucky out here. Then she turns around. It's Londi London. Oh, fuck. I'm like, shit, it's Londi. So I approached Londi. I'm like, listen, man, hey, you've been blue ticking me, whatever. She's like, yeah, I'm not sure about that thing. I'm like, all right, cool, what are you doing now? She's like, no, me and my trainer, we're going upstairs, we're going to do some stuff, right? I'm like, cool, when you're done, please give me a call. Or I'll meet up with you at a restaurant of your liking. She's like, all right, cool, no stress. So I never thought she'd call me. I thought, she's being a typical celebrity. She's just being nice and cordial. Lo and behold, after an hour, she calls me. She's like, these are my reservations, blah, 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 blah. And the thing is, a lot of chillers know this, but people outside that don't consume the content don't know this. Like, a lot of people have preconceived ideas of what we do here and what the show's about and the network and whatever from clips without even watching our content, And I think she was coming from that kind of space where she wasn't really sure if she wanted to be a part of this. And literally, I sat down with her. I spoke to her over the phone for about an hour, and I was just articulating that, listen, in your career, the trajectory that you're doing, there's no better platform than this, I think the synergies are aligned, and, in entertainment, eyeballs are currency, And I made her aware that, listen, man, at any given week, every week, you'll be chatting to 200,000, 300,000 people every week, It's a given. And, we spoke. And ultimately, I get where she was coming from. She was like, listen, man, I don't want to hold back if I do a show like this. I want to be myself and be opinionated and say what I really feel. And I don't want that to tarnish, what I've already built. And I was like, this is perfect for you, because in this way, people will be able to engage with you, with your thoughts and your mind and what you think, and there's no better place. So eventually she warmed up, and thanks to me, she's now on the network. I saved that.
It's your favorite girl, Londi London, also known as uMaZulu, uLondi wakaZulu.
Hi everyone, my name is Shamiso Musaka, but you can also call me Shameless.
I'm full Kopulomphela.
Okay, so our podcast is called Read the Room.
Our show is called Read the Room.
So I'm going to be on a show called Read the Room.
It's an entertainment and social commentary show. Where we talk to our more refined brothers and sisters, the salaries, the insurance.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What am I talking about? Was I on the right track?
And what people can expect is just pop culture, fashion, and our takes on all things, lifestyle, events, might judge a little bit of spice, a little bit of drama. But anyway, it really is for the dollies.
Concept and the vision for the network, it's something that I instantly had to buy into when I was asked to be on this, because I think if they follow through on it, as we are doing right now with the content that you're going to be seeing right now, I think it's going to revolutionize digital content platforms in South Africa. I think it's going to democratize content platforms in South Africa in general. So I believed in the vision that I was sold, and I think that that's something that I definitely want to be part of, and definitely hope that I'll be an integral part of making it happen.
It's quite interesting that people are going to hear me speaking my thoughts and my opinions. So it's something different as to what I'm normally doing in the industry. So yeah, it's quite exciting.
I'm so honored and excited to join the network. I've obviously never been on a podcast before, and I think I'm definitely someone who likes to talk my shit. So having a platform where I could do exactly that and be uncensored is really exciting.
All the smoke. So we had Tejo for an interview on Spreading Humors last year. And this was way before we had the New Era meeting, right? We had Tejo on Spreading Humors, and he was there for an interview for DSTV. So as he's sitting there talking to, going through the interview, I'm like, actually, there's something about this guy.
My first song was on radio YFM when I was 17.
What?
The accent, the aura, everything. My music wouldn't be what it is now.
So you're clinging on to that American accent, hey?
Finishes the interview. I'm like, do you broadcast somewhere? Do you do podcasts? It's like, yeah, actually, me and Nadia, we have our own thing that we do, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, cool. I'll check it out, I did check it out. And I was like, okay. No, I like his vibe. And then the concept of All the Smoke came about, right? And different characters, that we had in mind. And we did a test shoot with those characters. And at the end of that shoot, the person that stood out was Tejo. Then we did another test shoot. Now we're working around the character of a Tejo. What does that look like? What does it feel like? What are we doing? And we were meant to try out a bunch of people, tried out a number of people. BU was one of those people. And the chemistry between those two guys was so insane. They are different characters, but somewhat they relate so well. And there was no way we can't do anything with that. That's what I set with. I was like, regardless of what this show looks like, there's something between these two people.
No, that's the question. You asked the question. Name of my show, All the Smoke, with my co-host BU. What kind of content you guys can expect? Just very real, straight talk, open conversations, very broad.
What's up, man? Buddha, Lutando, BU Mtembu, BU Umkulu, the Zulu Vegan.
I like the concept that they had in mind. The first concept that they had was like Drink Champs, where Tejo sits down and he's basically having a joint with another guest that's on the show, and they keep upping the ante. So they start with weak weed that goes all the way up to Durban Poison and whatever else is the really, really strong weed. And I thought that's an amazing concept, but I can't sell that. No way I'm gonna sell that. When we watched the screen test, which involved BU and Tejo, we immediately knew that this could be something really, really special. But the only thing, I was on the phone for probably 2 hours with Mac and JJ, and the only thing I said to them was they cannot smoke weed on this show. Tejo cannot smoke weed, and they kept going for it, and I just said, then we can't, really make it commercially viable. So, that was a very interesting conversation. So watch out for All the Smoke. Let's see what happens.
Hey, man, what's the name of our show, bro? The name of our show is All the Smokes. All the Smoke, not smokes. All the smoke, because we want all the smoke. And that's what you should expect, all the freaking smoke. Some people might choke out, bro. There's gonna be so much smoke up in that motherfucker.
BU's on a very crazy journey right now. He can talk about it himself, and I've been on a crazy journey myself. So I feel like just life experience and being able to talk about anything and everything is gonna be the strongest points, Man,
I don't know how to feel about joining the network. How do you feel about me joining the network?
I feel good about joining the network. I know a lot of people have told me, like, yo, are you ready? Like, people are already gonna, but listen, like I said, I've been in the industry for a very long time. And sometimes it's good to try something new, partner with, new partners. and just experience it and just take it from there. So I hope it's a very beautiful journey. I know it's going to be. And yeah, I'm just interested in learning as much as I can.
A girl grew up in the township, and I never ever thought of an idea of this nature, especially with podcasting.
Kasi Jam for me, there's a bit of a special story there because initially we've always wanted a platform that speaks for people in the hood, Ekasi.
When this idea came about, we were brainstorming. So what kind of people do we want there? We threw around a bunch of names because we're trying to represent all the hoods. So Soweto, Val, Pitori, the East Rand, So I think I was talking to JJ. I was like, JJ, let's try Shabawama 2K. He was like, okay, if you trust, cool. And then he said, let's try Karas, and there was someone else. And then Don Dada also came up in that conversation. We were like, yeah, that works. That sounds like Kasi.
Sepo Pito, aka Material Don Dada, number 1 Skotani. Yeah, in the world.
Material Don Dada is a Kasi legend. He's a cultural icon. He brings cred, You can't buy what he's achieved over the years, whether it's through a culture, Dukotani or Drake flying all the way down to come meet him so that they can do a music video, which he contributed creatively to, So you can't buy that sort of credibility. So how work Kasi, and you want something Kasi, because you need people like that. A bit of music, touch point, Yako Kasi, which is really the soundtrack of Kasi culture. Karas has a long history of working in the media. He worked at YFM, he worked with Mac, he worked with us, all of us at YFM at some point. But he worked with DJs Boo, TK and Umzagazek at Umzagazek's peak, and he did a lot of work behind the scenes with Abu Brown Dash.
Yeah, sure, Karakesh, the new Makesh. Karas my fishing on the lap.
Gamala Mujum Sanganyauza, also known as Shabawama 2K.
So there's about 13 million people, which is probably about 25% of the population that live in the Kasi. So the reality is that is a massive audience and their stories are never told. So we needed to have a show like this.
What people should expect, it's all about into zasekasi. Yazikava lezo ziplome khona emakuleni eziloko nje ziwayindisa sibheke ukuthi movement injani. Yithi lawo. So it's all about into ezenzeke eKasi. It does affect abantu baseKasi, nethi ezijabulisa abantu baseKasi. But most especially like ubumnandi mfethu that comes out of the hood.
Shaba for me stood out so much because he came on Spirit and Humors for an interview. And I was like, oh, he's great. We are pa too much though. You need to manage it and, guide him.
And I immediately knew that this show is probably going to be one of the special shows. It's going to be a gem. A lot of people won't anticipate it to be as big as what I think it's going to be.
Because the idea was to have a representation of different Kasis across the country, but obviously the heart of urban culture, the heart of Kasi culture is always in Gauteng, Soweto. So.
And I remember having a sidebar conversation specifically with one individual, though the three of them are incredible, but that was Shabawama 2K. I spoke to Shabawama 2K, I pulled him to the side and I told him that he's going to be a star.
Yo, joining the network for me, it's a blessing because I just got a call. I didn't expect to one day get over a podcaster, but I thought God is calling me, so I answered.
It's a great feeling, man. These are people that we used to. I look up to your Sol Penduga and MacG. So being part of the network, bonisa utama nitle vilui level.
But men lie, women lie, but numbers don't.
Ready?
So, one of the things we needed to do was start entering the world of credible podcasts that speak about current affairs, business, and various aspects of what's going on in the economy that we don't really touch on in a lot of detail in a lot of our shows because we've been fairly focused on entertainment alone.
So I think this is very, very exciting. Be Frank with Mac is going to be an absolutely amazing show. For me, it's about doing interviews that I've always wanted to do. The guys were looking for someone that is serious. I'm not that guy. I've just been in news for a long time, but the real McFarlane is what people will probably be able to see when they interact with Be Frank with Mac. Joining, the podcast and chill crew, it's crazy because a lot of the time I'd meet people in the streets and every time they'd see me, they're like, oh, MacG. I'm like, no, he's the younger one. I'm the original. Bastards.
And what he wants to do with that show, I hope he can fulfill it because he's so excited, and someone of that stature, for me, speaks volumes about the network. A guy who's been working at Carte Blanche and he's got a very credible CV to want to join a network like us speaks volumes, you know what I mean? So I'm really, really excited about that. And I just heard Shots was telling me that the first show they shot was with Harry Redknapp. I'm like, what the fuck? You got Harry fucking Redknapp? You know what I mean? I'm like, fucking hell. I can only imagine what else they're going to do. So I'm really, really excited for that show.
But I also think one of the most important things that I'd like to get out of Be Frank with Mac is providing news, current affairs, and giving it a platform in a more palatable form, in a way that people can easily understand, and breaking it down and making it easier and perhaps discerning that information my way. I think that for me is also one of the most important things that needs to come out of Be Frank with Mac, because we hear news, hey. It's not about people's opinions. It's just about understanding what's going on, not only locally, but also globally. And I think Be Frank with Mac is the perfect platform for that. Thanks.
I think all of us deep down are soccer lovers, and football resonates kokasi. And as much as the Banter League was there Onside, I was like, but if you're trying to speak to a wider reach and you want to have some sort of credibility in this country when it comes to football, you need the legends. Because without the legends, it simply doesn't work.
Chance for Isaac Chancer. Bala wants it. Boyani will take it. The Boyani has made it three. And Pirates seal the cup here.
Right at the moment. The men in white and black. He's possessed. His man. This is Bekwelea. Might try something from here. Got a couple of men to beat and he's done quite well. Retains possession.
I had to visit his house, speak to him, and because he's turned down a lot of podcasts. So I remember at some point we did a FaceTime. I FaceTimed Mac while I was with him, and they had a heart-to-heart. I don't know what they were talking about, but after that, Steve was on Samuel. Fine, let's do this.
My name is Steve Ligulia, the best player in the country.
He actually proposed Utula Sizo, and it became easy because they get along.
Tula Sizo, the Chuchu man Mbuyane, a former Orlando Pirate player.
And I know people are saying this is going to be another Pirates podcast, but it's not. So it's Onside, back to Kasi, back to Diski, where the people are.
Yeah, man. When it comes to Piano Pulse, which is now Music Pulse, there's a friend of mine. His name is Bobster. So he was in charge at Kalawa Jasmine for like signing up a lot of artists. So he signed up Maporisa. He signed up Heavy K, which was 0.5 at the time. He signed Black Motion. And whenever I chat with him, I'm like, so out of all these guys that you signed, who was like the best that you signed, And he always mentions Black Motion, So for me, Piano Pulse, out of everything that we've done, for me, Piano Pulse is like my Black Motion, It's like, it's a show that I envisioned, I had in my mind, and to see it come to life and the impact that it has just brings me so much joy,
That show has grown so much, got so many people upset. because of the authenticity of it more than anything else.
It has no basis.
It's not,
Let me
it's
teach you
not
something.
on
Let
no
me teach you
basis.
something. Let
I
me teach
just
you something,
told
Sir.
you.
Let
Calm
me
down.
teach you something,
No,
Sir.
no, no.
Let me teach you something, sir.
Listen,
Sir,
no.
I'm
What?
here to listen to you.
What do you mean? We had to have a conversation. We had to have a conversation. Calm
No,
down.
Tahe,
What do you
I
mean?
didn't come here to have a conversation. I came here to rectify you.
Okay, then
First of
rectify.
all,
Okay,
first of
okay,
all,
fine.
first of all.
Okay, then don't ask questions. Let him give him the cameras. Let him talk.
I think a lot of us, maybe a lot of people rather, when they're on these platforms, there's a certain level of performatism that they do, if that's a word, where they have to pander to certain individuals. I don't want to upset so-and-so. I don't want to. So this show upsets a lot of people because these people that are on these chairs, they're just being themselves. They're sharing their thoughts the same way you can share your thought when you're chilling with a friend outside. Once the cameras are on, you won't share the same thought that you shared. But with them, they do that.
I don't know, man. For me, it just started sounding repetitive. Like every week they were just talking about Pori and Kabza. I felt like, the guys aren't just piano focused. Like Sfiso has a music background, he's been producing, writing songs for a lot of people. Tahi has a hip hop background as well, So I thought it would be great for the guys to grow and not just be pigeonholed to this one genre which is dying because 3-Step is here. Now finally the guys can talk about 3-Step in peace. You understand? Because it's Music Pulse.
But I think this was the year where they need to shake up the entire music industry. It's important for them to be a voice for music in general. It's a big challenge for all of them because they've really, deep dived the world of piano itself. But now they got to, test their mantle a little bit and move into other different genres.
I don't know. It's a bit scary, man. Change is uncomfortable.
All of us will have to adapt, but we're just gonna see it pambili.
I think change is necessary. Change is good. It's for a good cause, and I understand which perspective it comes from.
For it to become Music Pulse, it was a thing of there's more that we can do with what we have, because with piano, it's almost leaning towards a niche audience. And if you're saying music, then it opens them up to other bigger conversations. Let's open it up, make it Music Pulse. Let's talk about music at large, man. Gospel, Maskandi, all of it. We have a very rich culture of music in our country. And with doing that now, it was a question of then how are we going about that?
So I'm really excited, and the addition of Nota it's one that I didn't see coming. I guess Nota is finally home. He did a 360, like his contracts. You know what I mean? But I'm excited because whether you like or hate him or love Nota, when it comes to music, you cannot fuck around with that guy. And I would urge anyone to go back to the first podcast Nota did, which was at his house. And we were just talking about music, bro. And most of the stuff that he said in that interview actually has come to fruition. So,
Amapiano is popping right now.
Fucked up.
You know what I mean? Why don't you take these Amapiano beats and rap on top of them? If you can rap on anything, right? They were rapping on jazz before. They rapped on rock records and everything else. That's our sound. Before Nigeria takes Amapiano and makes it pop off.
You think it's
globally? It's already happening. It's already by this December. The biggest Amapiano hits in the world are going to be on the Afrobeats charts in Europe.
And to them, it sounds the same. They don't know the difference because it's from Africa. We're just going to see it pambili. I think it's going to work out. Note is a good addition. And also the fact that we are now able to talk about any genre give us more topics to talk about and more people to go around.
I saw it coming. When I was a young man, sometime when I was, 17 years old, I told Mac, it'll always be like this. And that's actually a true story, like verifiable. Yeah.
Anything cultural has to be done well. So I proposed the idea of going to meet the king and, respectfully request Ngizo's services for a year. One thing about the king is that, man, people are like, Bangata Waga aura. It's like a thing. The aura. Gents, you don't know what aura is until you're around King Misizulu.
Nabesilo, day 2 of the numbers era, going to meet Nkosi Yamazulu, Isilo. Wow, what an honor. Let's do this thing. Ayeti. Wow, what an experience, man. Meeting the king to ask him for obviously his blessing for the Bhinca Nation, because the Bhinca Nation are acknowledged by the king himself.
Namhlanje sihamba ne-team ka-MacG podcast ukuthi siyobathula engonyameni samaZulu uMasizulu kwaZulu. Kungijabulisa kakhulu ukuthi kuhlangana kumuntu omnyama nomnyama kube impumelelo namhlanje. Is a historical day where a young man who get rise to popularity through radio broadcasting and is now owning his own podcast, the biggest podcast in the African continent. We are getting together today to submit to the Zulu King so that we can be one thing.
Fascinating. Landed in Durban, it's a 4-hour drive. The king's late dad, the late king, had his own palaces and where to go to. It's Gog, it's what they call it's Gog. Braid is thick, yo, bro. So we're not very king size or so there's no suit alternative, ne?
No, guys, this is our key cultural outfit here.
Winter, summer, the same.
It's the same. Yeah.
So there's no like alternative?
No.
Damn.
No, we used to it. It's like you vendor guys. I mean, the vendor guys don't wear hats, right? Even in peak summer.
Yo, when they drive, Gizwe, so we're driving behind Gizwe and his bodyguards. He's got bodyguards, obviously. Yo, back Malabantu. Gizwe is an overheater. That's when we were coming back. As an overheater,
misinterpret him, and misunderstand him, But as a creative, I can see the genius in him, you know what I mean? And I was like, fuck, man, I'd really like to do something with him. So when Bala came with the new era, one of the first names I threw in the hat, I was like, dude, we gotta do something with Ngizwe. I don't know what it looks like, but let's just give him the freedom to do whatever the fuck he wants, because that guy, I think, he reminds me of he's like a Zulu version of Chili, man. The guy's amazing. He's been so excited like we are. I mean, for us to even go to Durban to meet the king so we can get the blessing from the king to work with Ngizwe was an experience I'll never ever forget. Just the whole thing of getting there, seeing where the king lives, hearing the story about the Zulu Nation.
He's an amazing character, man. He is who he is, and boldly so. And I love it. And I think he's the best person if you want to do a podcast that speaks to majority of Amazulu. Obviously brings a wealth of experience from Ukozi, and then he's just an eccentric personality. And yeah, acknowledged by the king, so we had to go to the king.
No. You just give the card and then to the king, because you need to come with ikuka. Yes. So as you have brought this ikuka, so the king will decide what to do with it. Yes. Yes. It's a symbol of respect, because before money, the wealth of special African people and African kingdom was built around cows.
Livestock, yeah.
Yes.
For you.
Yeah.
So you're going to do the speech, to introduce the guy?
Hayi bo, ngothi na ungizwe phela uye wazi ukuthi inkomo ihamba yabo ngama-line athini. And that was very interesting as well, You got to see a different side because we had to wait of the king. Amazing hospitality. We had to wait and beef stew, and then afterwards As we were leaving, we also had food. Apparently, people don't get burgers. They had burgers and fried chicken. From Isilo.
Mnumzane, esigodlweni asifaka usikhindi ufake ihuqu nje laphana. This is not a Quella's party.
It's just Gogwin, daughter.
You rather remain in the car. Unfortunately, you can't meet the king.
No, it's fine.
Like this.
It's fine.
Yes.
I understand.
I know that you got the mentality that he's a king dog.
Yeah.
But it's fine. He has adopted the culture of the US, but the protocol of the kingdomship has to remain.
No, that's understandable.
Yes. Yeah, please remain.
I'm going to
Yes. Kodwa noma ungamsikela yazi lapha.
Yeah, mina vele kuphume ezi3 la ikid. Bona. Yeah. Awuthi smart ngizo uyabona na.
Cha phela cha. Kanti futhi
combination yabona ke. Now I mustn't lose myself.
Even no, not even yourself, but if I can bring very good traditional attire, it can be like our late King Tingani.
What an interesting and just a crazy experience. I mean, we came into this in the king's space. There were 2 windows, one on the left and one to his right, and there was light that was coming in, right? So when you sit, you have to sit on the floor. So you just have like 15 of us just sitting on the floor and waiting for him to arrive. When he arrives, he sits down, and all you can see is basically like a silhouette of the king. You couldn't necessarily see his face properly. It was just a bit of an out-of-body experience to be there.
And you see a different side of him because literally the whole day he sits and he listens to people. And that's what a king does. He listens to his constituency. You know, people come, they bring some problems, some solutions, some they just want to meet the king. You know, we gifted him a beautiful cow.
Then Gizwe starts to have the conversation about why we're there, who we are.
Siyakhuleka bayethe ngoba athe mayifika eMakilimane la engibholoka athi mina cha ngowesihlalo kodwa into engiyithandayo uthi ingonyama yethu imele uAfrica bonkana. And with my brothers we always because they are always very broken. And sometimes I'll mix with English, and mine is not English, it's English. So, but besikhulekela nje sibusiso ngempela sibonga kakhulu umphathi we-office lengonyama lokusebenzisana nokubuyisa ubumbano ngoba kunenkinga enkulu la njengoba unamamashi axosha abantu abaxosha izigebengu axosha abantu bese kube khandeka isithombe sokuthi thina sokuZulu abamukelekile abantu awukho umhlaba ongaphila ungenayihlobo njalo ingonyama yakhuluma yaqedwe esandlwana futhi kwase kuba khona igama elithi uma kuthiwa siqeda impi ngapha yaba somazona ngaphandle soshayana sodwa manje abafowethu bathe masikhuluma nabo sihlangana ngakubuka kuyinto enkulu kakhulu ngonyama engaba isibusiso ukutholakala sihlangana nensizwa zasevenda siyinto eyodwa kanjena and embracing our own culture and for them to come to submit in our own king and also myself going to their king and also embracing the Venda culture and we will bring the young united African future of young people. Bye.
And then we ended up, I ended up introducing the whole team. I was on both knees. Actually, I started on one knee. So I was on one knee, and then I'm addressing the king in English because it's Zulu, and especially that KZN Zulu. So I had one knee on the floor, and then one guy taps my knee. He's like, hey. I'm like, it's like, no, both knees. I'm like, oh. So then I end up going on both knees, and we're addressing the king. I introduced the whole team, and we're basically asking for Ngizwe and Kunu's services, which was incredible.
Ngithokoza kakhulu bahlobo bami macingwane iy'nduna zenkosi ngithokozisa kakhulu lokho okushiwo umacingwane lokho ukuthi makuza kulezi zinto ze-youth ngoba sisebenza kakhulu ne-youth nazi iy'ntombi zomhlanga zaseveni sizocela ukuthi ngoba senza umhlanga ngoba sesihlangene kanje sizokwenza umhlanga kulo nyaka sebesiqala nazo siyilungisele manje ukuthi nazo zibe khona emhlangeni wakwaZulu kanjalo-ke futhi ney'nsizwa ngoba lokhu ngiyokushiwo mina kushoyo kuma-platform ngixoxa kahle ukuthi zonke izizwe futhi ne-Afrika yonke kunakho ukuthi ibheke e-South Africa kuZulu ukuthi awu makulunge izinto zakwaZulu cishe yonke i-Afrika ingahle iqonde okuyinto nathi ngoba bekuyithemba kithi nje sesibambisene nesizwe sikaMphephu. uMphephu ngumhlobo wami inkosi yaseVenda. Ngasithanda lesiya sizwe siyavakashelana futhi ngokuvakashelana ngokohlelo lobukhosi sikwazi ukuthi sibonane kodwa nje ngoba senza amasiko nje senifike kulesi sigodlo uyazi macingwane ukuthi okuningi kwenzeka kulesi isigodlo ukuthi kusukela namhlanje sekusekhaya lapha masenza amasiko nani nibe khona ukubambana kwezizwe ilokho nje lokho kuthiwa i-unity because the Zulu royal family and also because bamavenda we need to be seen as unifiers ukuthi mase kufike ubukhosi uphela zonke iy'nkulumo yonke ihlangana lokho nje nabesilo engutusa kakhulu ukuhlangana kwethu le micimbi esiyenza lapha ekhaya esigodlweni sasemashobeni ngiyathokoza ungizwe ukuthi useyinxusa leni sekuthi-ke uyaxhumana futhi ne-ofisi sekuthi-ke makwenziwa le misebenzi seniyokwazi kusenesikhathi ukuthi nakho umsebenzi sihlele iy'ntombi ney'nsizwa beze sibambisane ukuthi kuzobanjiswana ngoba lokho kukodwa nje kunesithombe esifuna ukuthi i-Africa ne-South Africa isibone ukuze sibanikeze ithemba.
It's combining two nations, the Zulu nation and the Venda nation. You know, it's a spectacle, it's a cultural spectacle. And we need to do it in such a way that even the people at home that are watching, whether they're in Venda or they're in KZN or Lesotho, they need to see respect on both sides and the marriage of two cultures.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We received the blessing, and in God's will, may we grow. And I think with the partnership, there's no other thing to do but to grow.
Yeah.
And then also we would like to ask for money, because we heard you're a big fan of Young Thug, so we want to book him in.
Okay. So we can celebrate. This is partnership. Thank you so much. like that one.
Say my man what you see the hip hop.
Kakhulu. Athi buye ibe nalezi zinto zane lifestyle. Ngiyakwazi ukubeka ebhlukweni yini. Senzani isilo. But I support it. It's our youthful platforms though.
No, bayethu sibonge nje isibusiso sakho njengoba ezini socela ungizwe la umacingwana into nje sifuna ukuyeza ukuthi sibonge uqhubeke nawe ngomsebenzi wakho omuhle bekasasitshela ukuthi yenza umsebenzi ukuthi kuphume uNatal la kuKwaZulu so we hope to see one day that yabo nathi meslethe ingane zethu kwaZulu sithi siyaKwaZulu bangasuza ukuthi uNatal wani ngoba uKwaZulu uyazichaza nje kanjalo so ubusele nawe umsebenzi wakho. A shout out to Isilo. Hlanga lomhlabathi, Isilo samabandla onke. Oh yeah. And I spoke the best Zulu obviously. Mac doesn't know Zulu, so he spoke English, but Venda, where he could, was well dressed in his Venda regalia. JJ was in his Sutu. He spoke Sutu at the Zulu Palace. One of the people, they were outside now, they were like, it's concrete Senkos. I'm like, yo, it's Sutu, man, come on. You know Zulus think, I'm get a mood. So the other lady was like, I get how much. I'm like, no, man. What I loved about our trip is we all just represented who we are.
And bayet into yokugcina nje nginesicelo nje ukuthi ngoba thina sine platform ye in South Africa, I think there's an important conversation that needs to happen for them to understand the heritage yet and the important role that you as yourself have not only within KwaZulu, not only KwaZulu, but in the continent. So we would like to extend at any point, whenever you feel comfortable, an invitation for us to have these discussions on our current biggest platform before this brother comes in. Takes the reign of the biggest platform to have this conversation. We would like to extend that invite. And as soon as you're comfortable, we're ready to have the discussion.
Thank you, my CEO.
Thank you.
I'm asking you, so let's tell us.
Oh, Bayet. Yaka is a bonolo hole, Bayet.
Oh.
Ne ke kopa Bayet o tloka jeno a bue Sesotho. Re setjhaba sa rona di kgona ho kopana hape. Ke nana ntwe funzo magaeva a buileng le ntate Mqunu le Sole le CEO e bohlokwa hobane ho rona batjha ha re tsebane le di family ha re tsebane mara this marriage allows us to unite as different cultures and I think it's one of the things that when you look back at your legacy you'll be the king that united all young people from this country, different cultures, different languages. And we are happy that there is someone like yourself who listens to Young Thug and is open to working with young people. So we thank you very much.
Thank you. From being raised in America and then coming to KwaZulu and being the king.
It's very interesting that it's a long journey, which I think we should discuss on that day. Today was just a meet and greet and to unify us so that we know ukuthi inxusa ongizwe sesoyisebenza kusukela la. But a very interesting question.
But it didn't feel like coming to America.
Almost. What a big transition. Being raised in America. My cousins. We know the culture there. You have to be almost like an oak tree to survive all kinds of weather. When you're in America, you're able to adapt to Mungapa. It's quite challenging, but that's how we survive, by challenges. When you don't have challenges in life, then you must ask yourself something is wrong. We need those challenges. This is what we discuss on my CEO as one of the topics.
So part of us meeting the king, they said I have to hand over the cow to the king, and they said I have to, like, what is it called? Is it Takazelo? So I have to do a clan name. So I don't know about my clan names, bro. I don't know shit, man. You know what I mean? I'm a vendor boy from Parktown. They didn't teach us this clan name shit. You understand? So I don't know what to say. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna freestyle this. So when we're handing over the cow, what I did, cause I'm like, okay, these niggas are Zulu. They don't understand vendor. So I can go in any direction I want. The only person who understands vendor here is Bala. So I just started mentioning my mom, my grandmother, and then I ended off with my grandfather, and they were impressed. Because it sounded like Isitakasel, but I was just naming my mom, my grandmother, my grandmother.
Dzina langa ndipfi Magaiva Pfunzo Mkwevo, mwana wa Ndanganeni Juliet Mkwevo, mdhulu wa Chiskawa Joseph Mkwevo, makatu Freedom Mkwevo, nguluvela londe rikoda cover chiro vadisela pasela inoni yavo rikulivo zote zvine vanotera. In Jesus name, amen.
Really, really cool story. So once we address the king, we leave the king's space and we're about to take pictures. First thing I hear is Mac next to him taking the first picture saying, "Hey, my man, I thought we were gonna smoke a joint together." And then the king says, "Hey, if it wasn't for all these meetings, man, I would have." I'm like, wow. I'm like, what? Only Mac could ever say anything like that to an entire king of the Zulu nation.
La kusekhaya bonga nempahla eniphathile bafowethu ukuthi nibuyele emuva uNkulunkulu enigcine enisikelele ungizwe njengomfana la ekhaya ke ingonyama ithi nalaba ohamba nabo sengabala ekhaya sengabafana bengonyama lo mcimbi abazowenza la ekhaya ingonyama akithi fisa abakwenzile bebuye bezokukhombisa ingonyama ukuthi senze lokhu manje njengey'ngane zayo senizingane zengonyama ngoba nila ekhaya sicela nje nizizwe nihambe ni-happy nihambe ni-right nihambe nijabule
bayethe insizwa ngizwile lapha kodwa manje ayibangisasitolekela bayethe ukuthi
kodwa ubusi ikhuluma nabakhona abadala
ayiphahlile ibhaleyo shuthi ngolimi lwethu lapho ebuthe Jesus Christ egcineni ebikhuluma ngeyini cha bayethe ngokosiko impilo lalapha kwaZulu isichazelile insizwa mase ngibuza ngento eziningi ngase ngisho bayethe ukuthi umnotho wase-Afrika nawo kwaZulu uhambisana nezimeshi amaguqa wakhandwa ngawo iyona mali yokuqala nomnotho wokuqala kungakambiwa ngisho amagolide phansi emveni kwalokho ke basebesho ukuthi cha ngeke balishintshe usiko bayethe bazofika bese ukhuleka ngeguqa engonyameni becela isibusiso esisimangaliso sokuthi asiyiphathi iAfrika nabafowethu siyibumbanise sibe into eyodwa singabi bayethe
wena wendlovu bayede
We actually took a little bit of a bet about who's going to have the biggest show, just in terms of viewership and audience size. And I think most of us are aligned that it's likely going to be Ngizwe Mkhunu. So we can't wait to see what he has in store for us. So Strat Session was an interesting one. We basically have the entire team, all 40, 50 odd people come through for a strategy session. What was crazy about this one, though, it was a little bit different. So we went to the same place we were at the previous year again. Now you've got tons of new faces that are sitting at that table, right? And you can tell. I remember seeing Zile at some point. He was just like looking at Shamiso like, oh, Kanti, what's going on, you know? And then they kept seeing more and more new faces just come in, and nobody knew about what our plans were at that particular time, except those that were obviously in the recruitment. So for everybody, it was a big shocker to be seeing those faces and why they're there. As always, we try to keep the strat sessions and the business part of it fairly short, and then we went straight into the game drives. And just as it was last year, when we had our strat session, the rain poured down again. And again, it's just maybe the blessings coming down all the way from Venda, you know, to show us love and show that this year is going to be an incredible year, as we always had. So there was 3 different Range Rovers that we were in. And the one that we were in was, it had Londi, Mac, myself, Jason, and a couple others. We made the decision that, okay, this rain's getting hectic, we're turning back. And then there were 2 other, cars that decided to go all the way up to the mountain, and they came back like 2 hours later. We had a lot of fun. There was a lot of drinks. There was a lot of drinks. Shots everywhere. They just kept coming non-stop. Londi's buying champagne. It was a mess, as always. And that's how we do things at Podcast and Chill Network. We really love, letting our ideas flow shot by shot and drink by drink. You know, we do things a little bit unconventional.
We are now moving towards the launch of the show. There's, obviously a lot of planning going into this, from, photo shoots, to just ensuring the venues. I mean, I had a couple of venues and, I remember even Mac just said like, yo, nah, bro, the venue that you have now is way too small, bro. We can't, house something this big for that capacity. Even Bala and the gents were like, nah, we gotta get something bigger. That's when now I had to dig deep and have a look as to exactly what we can use. That's when we ended up with the theater on the square. Then in terms of the planning, and also just wanted to make an honorable mention, big shout out to Melelo from Media Mark. She's been also very instrumental with, this whole scenario, So, we've been working at it.
New Era launch is something we've never really done before. Normally when we have a new show, it's just announced and then we do an episode with Mac to just get people a little bit excited about it. But this time around, we wanted to do something really, really big and have 250 special guests from potential, brand sponsors to friends and family, and a couple of people in the industry that we work with quite closely to just come and witness this event. I had to make a couple of calls and we managed to get some really, really amazing sponsors. Shout out to Google. Google came through, through their Gemini product, and then they, provided a little bit of sponsorship there. They also helped us out with Chillers All Black. So shout out to Google. I want to see that relationship flourish. And then we also called in Martel, us people of color, we love our cognac, and we got the best of the best, Martel Blue Swift. Gotta try that drink, guys. We also had Fitch and Leeds come through, and then 1 or 2 other sponsors to essentially make that event happen. So with the New Era fully assembled, I think we've got the most incredible lineup that the country has ever seen. Especially in modern times. I don't think there is a single radio station that can rival us. I don't think that there's a single TV channel that can rival what we've managed to put together, and also in a very short space of time. And just a shout out to the Chillers, who have always had our back. There's 1.7 million in terms of subs as of today, but there's about 3.5 million of them that actually consume our content. So to all the chillers that are out there and all the new ones that will be coming in as well on the basis of maybe seeing a show that might be of interest to them, we just want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Like, none of this would have been possible. All the people that work for this company today and get to put food on the table for their families, none of this would have happened if you guys don't click on that play button. So thank you very much for all the love you guys have shown us, and we really, really hope that you guys get to enjoy this new era that we've come up with, and we can't wait to see all the incredible moments that will come as a result of what we've put together here and what we've assembled.
We were done. We're just getting started. Welcome to the new era of the Podcast and Chill Network. We've leveled up the lineup to keep you locked in all week long. The Weekday Grind. Monday at 3 p.m. We kick things off with the Blueprint. MacG and Soap and Duca stay in their lane, bringing you the heat you know and love. Tuesday at 3 p.m. Get your rhythm right with Music Pulse. Join Tahi, Nota, Sfiso, and Kanye Maz as they dissect the industry like only they can. Tuesday at 8 p.m. for the Diski lovers. The legends are back. Catch Steve Lecolea and Tulasizwe Mbuyane on Onside. Back to Diski. It's pure football royalty. Wednesday at 3 p.m. We're celebrating the culture. Catch Bhinca Nation with Gwiza Mkunu and Pinky. Real talk, real tradition. Wednesday at 8 p.m. Ladies, this one is for you. Phil Pella, Shamiso, and Londi London are here to read the room. High tea, high fashion, and higher stakes. The weekend warm-up, Thursday at 3 p.m. It's the big one. Your favorite celebrities and comedians sit down with the duo that started it all, MacG and Soul. Expect the unexpected. Friday at 3 p.m., we're taking it to the streets. Join us for Kasi Jam, the heartbeat of the hood, right on your screen. Friday at 8 p.m., the vibe gets intense. Seho and BU are bringing all the smoke. No filters, no apologies. The Sunday session, Sunday at 3 p.m. Ease into the afternoon with the Bantweezys. They've got you covered with spreading humors. The perfect Sunday chill. Sunday night, we wrap it all up with the hard truths. Get the latest in politics and news on Be Frank with Mac. Different voices, same unapologetic energy. This is the new era. This is Podcast and Chill Network. Subscribe and hit the notification bell.